Kisah Mualaf kali ini datang dari seorang pria yang bernama Jos van Dam. Pria yang terlahir di Brussel, Belgia. Beliau bertumbuh dewasa tanpa agama yang kuat. Menurutnya agama tak penting dalam hidup ini. Namun setelah menerima surat yang di dalamnya berisi ayat-ayat suci, sentak hatinya terpukul dan haru. Akhirnya beliau tergugah hatinya untuk mendalami Islam. Bagaimana ceritanya? Kita simak kisah cerita selengkapnya. Assalamualaikum pemirsa yang dirahmati Allah. Kembali lagi ke channel Hidayah Surga, channel yang membahas tentang perkembangan Islam di dunia. Sebelum melanjutkan video ini, silakan tombol subscribe dan tekan tanda loncengnya supaya tidak ketinggalan kisah cerita selanjutnya. Semoga Allah selalu melimpahkan rahmat dan hidayahnya kepada kita semua. Barokallah, amin.
Happy to be invited here. So my name is Gregory Van Dam. I was born in Brussels, Belgium. I was born in a non-religious family, which is very common in Belgium and I think in all the French-speaking world, because yes, my mother tongue is French. In Belgium we have 3 languages, as you probably know. So I grew up in Belgium. I was a very common Belgian child. I went to a Catholic border school, so even though my family was anti-religious, they thought that the best schools were owned by Catholics. Since I was 8 years old, I was in a border school, a very ancient abbey, in a very beautiful place where a Catholic saint is buried there. So that's practically it. Yeah.
So you were trained in a Christian curriculum?
Exactly. Basically, it was a very open-minded school, so we had all the classical courses, but for example, we didn't go to church every day, or even, I don't remember actually being at church a lot or things like this. We had, of course, 2 hours a week religion class, also very open-minded, because they know that Belgian people are secular and they do not practice religion anymore, so they don't come and teach them in a way that they expect them to be, fellow Catholics. So yeah, it was a very, very open, like philosophical, ethical, as you said, spiritual kind of teaching.
So what were you believing in those years?
I think I wasn't believing in, something transcendent from the basic human life. So I think I was quite a materialistic child, but yet I think the big quality of my education is that we were very open-minded. So my mother, for example, she used to have books at home about different cultures,
Even different religions?
Yes, but they were interested in religions, but as cultural realities, like folk realities, not as matter of thought and matter exactly of spirituality or philosophy, metaphysics, or even as a worldview or philosophy of life. It was more like, okay, it's interesting, they do this, it's funny or it's beautiful, but we are not concerned about it. We are as we are, and we don't change at all.
What was your perception of Islam before you became Muslim?
That's a very good question. There are some interesting things. There is one very fascinating anecdote I remember very well. When I was a very little child, maybe I was 6 years old or 7 years old, something, we were doing shopping in Brussels, a neighborhood where there are a lot of Moroccan and Turkish shops. My family used to go there to buy, olive oil, dates, things there. What else? And I was with my mother and my grandmother. And we passed before that shop with a big picture in a frame of the Kaaba. I really remember it. I looked at it and I said, "Oh, mother, I want this for my room." Really, I remember. And my mother was, "Okay, no, cannot have this because it's of their religion, their culture. If you enter and you ask them to buy it, it will be uncomfortable for us. So no, you cannot." I really remember very well that scene. So I had kind of attraction that comes from, I don't know where. For us in Europe, Muslim equal Arabs. We don't realize that, no, there are Turkish people, there are Persian people, there are African, Indonesian. So Muslim and the Arabs are the enemy, always kind of in the background. Some families of Europe, the imagery of the Crusades also present, not as a racist thing, just as a cultural thing, because we love, chivalry, medieval, about ideas. And at my school, I met half Algerian, half Belgian family, totally secular, weren't practicing Muslim at all. Very nice people. I met their daughter, we were friends, getting along in their house. And at some point I just asked them, "Oh, you have a Quran there in French, that will be interesting for me. Can I borrow it just to read and to discover it? Because I never opened a Quran back there." So yeah, they said, "Oh, take it home." And that was a big shock. Yeah, I think since the very, very first moment I read the first words and I was, okay, this is something. It was the first time in my life that I read a text which wasn't about someone or something other than me. This text was talking to me. It was like I was, hearing the voice speaking in the book. So it was a very shocking experience. I remember very well kind of my state at the time. I was like, wow, because I'm 15 years old kid doing skateboard and with friends, and really not into that kind of thing. And that was wow. That was said in this book was just plain evidence. Was okay. Just wake up now. Look around you. Don't you see? And I was, yes, that's true. That's how I really see the world, and that's how I should see the world, and that's how I should see myself as part of this world.
So it was as though it was speaking directly to you. Allah
Exactly.
was speaking directly to you.
Definitely. I was really reading it as, okay, this is a personal letter I received from God, and also, okay, that is God. I never thought about God that way. So that was for me also the big revolution. This is a universal message about truth. About a universal truth, actually.
What happened afterwards?
I opened myself to this Algerian family city. Like, oh, what's that book? It's incredible. I think I'm going to be Muslim.
By just reading Quran?
Yes, and without knowing any practicing Muslim ever. Basically, I was really convinced. So I had no Muslims around me. I didn't matter at all. Through the mother of the family, she got me a book about how to pray, all the 5 pillars, or basic teachings of Islam. So for 3 years I was pupil in the boarding school and I was practicing Islam all by myself.
How did your family or your friends react to this?
My friends, they weren't understand the thing. They were skateboard kids, like punk rock young guys, and they were like, what are you doing there? What's that? They were laughing at me, but they were nice people, so they accept, okay, that's his thing now. But I think everybody, my friends, my family, everybody thought it's just a teenage
whim
thing. Yeah, whim, exactly. It will pass with time. But yet, what is unbearable for European minds is the rules. Why should you stop drinking alcohol? Why should you not eat pork? It's just meat. So what's the problem? Why should you fast? It's not good for your health. For them, following rules, it's really what they always fought against and avoided. Exactly. So why our son or our brother is imposing on himself those rules? They don't understand.
Was it hard for you to perform 5 times a day, or was it hard for you for fasting 30 days in 1 month?
Fasting was not that an issue because up north, I had the rahmah that my first Ramadan was in November. So basically I was but so at that time, no, Ramadan was not a problem at all, really. But praying regularly, that was an issue, of course. When I was at the boarding school, very, very difficult to find a way to pray. I was finding ways to cover my prayer after school or something, but that was the most important struggle.
Did you preach the message of Islam to people around you, and did anybody become Muslim because of you?
Actually, yes, several friends. I don't know if it's a strategy because it's unconscious, but usually I don't try to convince people. I myself, we talk about things, I give my point of view, but without trying hard to convince them or no, you have to accept this, or no, not at all. It's kind of dialectic thing. We are talking, I say, okay, from my perspective, I see the world like this. It had incredible results. I have several friends who came and say, okay, I want to become Muslim. And I said, come on, are you serious? Without trying hard to do it. I think it's the best way to convince people because the European mind is very reluctant about being convinced. They don't trust politicians, they don't trust the medias, they don't trust scholars at university, they don't trust anyone.
Also the religious figures they don't trust.
Definitely, this is really, for them it's the past. Another interesting, when my sister had her first daughter, I think she was like 4 or 5, she started to ask questions about death, like every children, And what my sister said, these questions you will see with your uncle. I have no answer about death, but your uncle, he has the answers. So I said, okay, so you don't really accept my Islam, and you are not at ease at all with my belief. But yet you realize that for very crucial realities like death, I have more answers than you. This is really interesting. They realize that there is something, but they cannot step forward and they cannot overcome the barriers they have.
Do you think there's an increasing Islamophobia in Belgium or in the rest of Europe, and what should be done to prevent this?
From my point of view, the answer is yes and no. Yes, because it's obvious in the medias, in some politicians. After 9/11, everything changed for the bad, and with the attacks in Europe, it was just went crazy. In
Charlie Hebdo.
Yeah, Charlie, and in Belgium, we had attack at the airport, in the subway. So it was very shocking things. So definitely, there is a sentiment of Islamophobia growing. Yet, I clearly saw in Belgium is that after the attacks, a lot of people wanted to know about Islam. That was a very new thing. They wanted, okay, so what is about this religion? I want to understand what's the point. So they start to ask questions. Before they didn't ask, it's a kind of hidden Islamophobia. And today it's a very conscious, very present Islamophobia. But for some people, it's the occasion to get to know Islam.
What was your purpose before Islam, and what is it after Islam in life?
I always have been a kind of idealistic person. I think my purpose was, okay, I'm going to change the world. And probably today I want to change the world, but I think I see it completely differently. I think that I first need to change myself, and it's very important. You don't change because you want to change. You have to know exactly what change you want for the world. So, today I think the importance of this knowledge, know better human being, to know better how the world works, and to know better.
Hidayah surga adalah hadiah ilahi yang mengubah hati kita, mengukir kebaikan dalam tindakan kita, dan memberi kita pandangan akan keindahan yang tak terbayangkan di surganya, kebahagiaan yang abadi. Sekian, terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.